Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Rooster Teeth reaction this time. Specifically, 10 Little Roosters, the first episode. So just to preface this, I have seen this in its entirety already. Jacob has not. So one of the things that we're going to be doing going forward is having Rooster Teeth related videos every Wednesdays. We're just going to call them RT Wednesdays. They're going to be reactions and discussion videos primarily. But this one in particular I thought was a great one to get Jacob a little bit more into the Rooster Teeth culture and the fandom as a whole. What do you know about 10 Little Roosters thus far?
I know that it is a sort of murder comedy mystery show, and you're supposed to figure it out each episode as you go along. Caleb was saying he was going to set it up like that so we can like imitate what it was like when the episodes were coming out on Rooster Teeth's site.
Correct. Yep.
I know that it has a lot of references to the Rooster Teeth crew in general, which I will probably miss some of because I'm like I know Ruby and Red vs. Blue, and then like some of the
other
Rooster Teeth culture stuff.
Right. So I'm gonna be catching a lot of them, and I can make references to them as they go, but I'm not going to be helping him with any of the hints. What we are going to do at the end of each episode is we'll be discussing what he thinks he's learned and maybe clues that he thinks he picked up on in each episode. And then as we go on each episode, he'll be guessing who's going to die next, what weapon they're going to use, and we have the list of the cast and all the weapons as well. But then also, if his opinion on who the murderer is going to change as he goes through each episode.
Right.
So, without further ado, let's get into this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I do like the design for and the music and everything. Very, very nice.
It's like Clue, but Rooster Teeth, right?
Yeah.
I want that on iTunes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out with this, man. Beards are not all sunshine and roses.
Yeah, well, you know, it does look really nice, I gotta say.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Hey, you think maybe I could get one of those one day? You know, with time and stuff.
No.
Well, can we talk about this later?
Later when? Like after you die and your will leaves me with, let's see, 5781 in GameStop store credit.
Lindsay, it's 5781 now, but imagine what that'll be worth with investments and shit.
At least you have good life insurance.
Chris, you are aware this is a formal party, correct?
That's why I wore a tie.
Yeah, but you wore a hobbit outfit around that tie.
So, some people think I look handsome in it.
God damn it, Chris, you pulled the same shit at my quinceanera. You're tripping all over the place with those stupid hobbit feet on. Why don't you go wander in front of a herd of elephants and get trampled to death?
I'm sure you'd love that when one of your best friends is dead.
You're right, I'll feel good.
I mean, guys, you know, not all who wander are lost. Tolkien.
Not all who work here are fucking nerds. So roll on.
Gavin?
Ryan?
What the fuck? Bernie, you said no plus ones. I'm gonna bring my nana.
Gavin, I told you no plus ones.
Do clones count as plus ones?
Make a compromise, save the 3/5 of a person, maybe?
Wow, solid racist. Gavin, stop bringing 1 1/5 more people to this party than you're supposed to.
Sorry.
I swear sometimes I could just murder you all.
Oh, speech. Speech. You go, man. Good speech.
Maestro? God damn it, Barb! That means stop!
I have a special announcement. If everyone would please look under their seats, you'll all find an envelope.
Ah, sweet. Oprah car.
Oh, Bernie, are we getting bonuses?
Here's another thing, his beard already.
Absolutely not.
Good catch. Good catch.
Michael, what the hell is this? That's right. Look upon your sins.
This is definitely a look closely kind of show.
Yeah, they're very
This
like
is actually just a picture of dicks.
Oh, that's where that went.
Shit, I knew I had one extra.
They're going by so quickly, though. I can't get a close look at all.
You've
of them.
all got blood on your hands.
It's okay.
And now you're all going to pay.
Wait, was that the... That was the cow.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just more dick doodles. I don't...
Oh, that's a companion piece.
That's not fair. Baby Gus was an accident. The fork slipped. The judge acquitted me. You're not allowed to talk about that.
Yeah, and Shannon died for science. That's like one of the top 3 or 4 ways to die.
Like, I don't care why you did it. The point is that I'm gonna get filthy fucking rich from turning all you assholes in. So fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck all of you.
Hey, why don't you go suck a dick?
Why do you suck 2 dicks?
No, you, but 5 dicks!
You're sucking 8 dicks from every direction, just like an omnidirectional dick suck fest.
Okay, we get it. Can you guys stop trying
Yeah.
to one-up
It's
each
a
other on the dick-sucking quotas? Why don't we just all agree as adults that we all suck a lot of dicks? We love it.
I like the taste.
I'll fuck them.
Yeah, okay. I like it. Obviously.
All right. Michael, what's to stop us from just killing you and then burning the body?
First of all, Ryan, I have this. And second of all, while all of you have killed, only one of you is guilty of cold-blooded murder. And if that person tries to kill me, if they try,
We can't understand you. Stop choking so we can understand you.
Michael, my boy!
Michael, stop, drop, and roll.
My boy! Michael, no! Oh no! You gotta get away from your son, not me! Michael! Oh! He's probably dead! Gus, you killed him!
What? No!
Well, you gave him the drink!
Yeah, but look. There's beard hairs in this. The only person it could have been is Gilby.
Hey, I don't need you beard profiling, man. It's hard enough that I can't be a professional swimmer. And if I was the murderer, I wouldn't go rubbing my beard all over the murder glass.
Wouldn't you?
I wouldn't.
Okay, well, yeah, that was the right answer.
Why don't we get the hell out of here?
Shit, tits, dude, we're trapped! We're trapped with the killer!
Hey, what is this? 10 Little Roosters. Gus, what did I tell you about hanging your poetry on the walls? Nobody gives a crap about your inner goddess.
Hey, I'm a beautiful budding flower asshole, and that's not mine.
What? Uh-oh. This looks like some kind of ominous omen for the rest of the evening.
Looks in the camera.
10 little roosters all gathered to dine. One choked on his rage, and then there were 9.
Ominous.
9 little roosters now running from fate. One tripped over themselves, and then there were 8.
Liking it so
8
far.
little
Yeah.
roosters, 2 others in heaven. One was martyred, and then there were 7. 7 little roosters, one liked to draw dicks.
Aw, sweet! Final 6!
God damn it, Barb! Shut up! Messing me up. Life imitated art, and then there were 6. 6 little roosters, often streamed live. One died to scale, and then there were 5.
This is crap. There's no way it's gonna be the people you keep showing. That would just be too easy, wouldn't it?
Well, unless we thought of that first.
That would be mental.
5 little roosters, one trapped in the floor. One ran out of air, and then there were 4. 4 little roosters still trying to flee. One got what they wanted, and then there were 3. 3 little roosters. One died of a pun. The killer was killed, and then there was 1.
Hey, why were you on me for that killer line?
You do keep farm animals in holes for fun.
Yeah, this order doesn't make any sense. Everybody knows Lindsay's gonna be the first one to die.
Hey!
Sorry, second one to die. Forgot about the husband. At least you're single.
How do we even know there is a killer?
Whoever this is has a real god complex.
Guys, my sword only glows when there's evil nearby, so one of us is the killer.
Of course.
I don't have time for this. I need to go back.
They're also orcs.
No one's going anywhere until we find the killer.
Yeah, Barb's right.
Hey guys, look! My sword stopped glowing when I stepped away from everyone, okay? So, obviously I'm not the killer, but one of you guys is, so everyone walk forward one at a time, and when the sword glows, you know who the killer is, and, I'll give him a stab. Yeah, no, that's good. I like this. This is a good plan. Yeah,
I'm on board with Team Chris. I say we go for it.
Okay, Miles, you come forward.
Wait, me?
I don't know, you're closest, and we're like best friends.
We talked about getting lunch once.
Well, I'm only gonna stab you if the sword glows.
Only if it glows.
Or.
I'm sorry, what?
Or,
I
yeah.
said I'm only gonna stab you if the sword glows.
Okay.
Or.
He did it again. I will only stab you if it glows or. Yeah, but you didn't know. I heard you say only if it glows or.
No, I was saying.
Just don't say or. Just say you're going to stab me if it glows.
Or.
I'm just gonna stab at this point just to get past the bullshit. All right. Okay.
1,
God fucking damn
2,
it.
3, 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you frightened? Yes. Not nearly frightened enough. I know what hunts you.
Oh my god.
Stop talking to yourself, Chris. I mean, that's why no one likes you. If you stop talking to yourself, then people might like you.
Wow. Okay.
All right, that was the first episode.
That was pretty cool.
Okay. What do you think so far, just in terms of the style? It's a little bit fourth wall breaking. It's
Yeah,
a little,
that's
it's a little
good. That's good.
Self-referential.
Yeah,
It's,
I feel like I would have gotten a lot more of the references if I knew more.
Sure, but
Rooster
you did
Teeth
catch a couple references.
Yes.
So right now there are 10 people in the cast. We're counting Gavin 1 and Gavin 2, the clones, as
one person.
Right?
Gotcha.
Or as 1/5 of a person. So I'm gonna bring up right now the post. Okay, we've got the blog post right up here that people were able to read right after they watched the original premiere of 10 Little Roosters. And we're going to go through that real quick and basically give Jacob the same amount of resources that everyone else had available as each episode came out. So, you've watched the premiere, Jacob. You've witnessed Michael's death.
Right.
Now it's time to sift through the suspects and clues and solve the first batch of mysteries. Okay, so this right here is the actual little poem thing here. We've got 10 little roosters all gathered to dine, one choked on his rage, and then there were 9.
Right.
That's
okay.
Michael, right?
Yeah.
Now we've got 9 little roosters now running from fate. One tripped over themselves, and then there were 8.
Okay.
So that's going to be the one that we're guessing on right here. But feel free to take a look at these clues here, and we'll be able to kind of discuss what you think or who you think the next person is, and then also who you think the killer is. Now, I have not shown him anything, and I am of the opinion that Jacob is a genius. Like, he's going to figure this out.
No pressure.
Relatively quickly, but who knows? I would love to kind of put it into the test. So thank you for submitting your genius for experimentation. Okay, so based on kind of what you've seen thus far, do any of these clues here seem to hint at, people specifically going to be killed at certain times?
The one tripped over themselves and then there were 8. That seems like an obvious reference to Gavin since there was a clone. As for the murderer, there were 2 that stood out to me as being potential candidates.
Okay.
But, I need to remember the Dwight rule of it's not the one you least suspect or most suspect, it's the one you most medium suspect.
Interesting.
And
we'll see if that works out for you.
Right. The 2 obvious ones seem to be Gus, I think is, the Simmons,
Mm-hmm.
And then... Michael was the guy that died, right?
Mm-hmm.
So his wife, what's her name again?
Lindsay.
Oh, right, Ruby.
So you think one of them 2 is the obvious?
Yeah, they're the
choice.
2 obvious ones because, because there was the beard hairs in the drink, but Gus pulled the fork out of the dude's beard, so he could have planted it there.
No, Gus didn't pull the fork. That was Miles.
Was it?
Yeah, Miles pulled the fork out.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was helping him with that. He said, beards aren't all sunshine and roses.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so that wasn't Gus. Okay, so then that takes some of the pressure off Gus. Gus also was the one with the poem, that writes poetry, so, it could be his. He could have just lied about that.
Another thing to remember here, if we look at the end here, this is not a spoiler or anything. This is something to think about. The killer is going to die.
Right.
There's going to be someone that survives.
Right.
So you're not only guessing who you think the killer is, you're thinking, okay, which one of these remaining people is actually going to make it through all of this?
One question, maybe this is something that I can't be told or whatever, but if Gavin counts as one person, like both Gavins, could one Gavin die and the other survive?
So they actually answer that question in the post here. So they say, one last note, the Gavin clones comes as a pair. They are considered to be one person or 1 1/5 for the purpose of the contest and will therefore live or die together. That is, one won't die early on while the other ends up being the killer.
Okay.
So no, that twist isn't going to happen.
So let's read through
here's some things to clarify here. Here are the cast of all the characters, and I'm putting this up kind of for you because you're not completely affiliated with all the names of the people here. We have Miles Luna, Gavin Free, Gus Sorolla, Ryan Haywood, Lindsay Jones, Michael Jones, Barbara Dunkelman, Bernie Burns, Chris Damaris, and Adam Ellis.
Gotcha.
So Adam Ellis is the guy with the beard. Chris Damaris is the one with the Hobbit outfit, and most everyone else you're pretty well aware of.
There's the whole thing of suspecting that Ryan was the killer, which I thought was hilarious that they did that in the video because Mad King, all that stuff.
Yep. So these are the weapons, though, that.
Okay.
Now, also, there are red herrings in this. There are only there are 22 to choose from, but with 7 episodes remaining, only 7 weapons will be used, and none will be repeated.
Are just as prone to red herrings as the victims and motives.
Yes.
Red herrings. What's a red herring again?
Where it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
It's just put in there to kind of distract you.
Sure. Okay.
So you know that that Michael was the first one,
right? And he died from
choking on his rage, but that's not on this
gotcha.
thing here. So there's 7 episodes left.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Gotcha. And these are the weapons. Okay.
Right.
All right. So
looking at these right here, do any of these look like they fit into what's coming up next? Okay, so you do have some conclusions after looking over this. How about you go through and give what you kind of think each clue alludes to?
Okay.
So skipping the first one.
Right.
You discussed a little bit about the second one.
Right. So I think that Gavin is the one that's going to die because, tripped over themselves. Gavin had the clone.
Okay. Now, this is next week's episode. So
Right.
do you have a guess as to what weapon is involved here? If you think Gavin's going to die. These are your weapons.
Well, I don't know too much about Gavin. However, I know that he's in the slow-mo guys, so could be a slow-motion explosion. Could also, if it has something to do with the fact that he has the clones, then it could be something that involves the fact that there's 2 people.
Okay, we can come back to that. What do you think about the next clue?
1 was murdered, and then there were 7. So for that one, it means that they, martyred, so they died for some sort of purpose.
You seem to be pretty clueless on this one.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, what are the ones you do know something on? I think you said something about one of these 2.
Yeah, 1 liked to draw dicks, left imitated art, and then there was 6. So that's, I think that's Barbara.
You think that's Barbara?
Yeah.
Barbara's going to die here?
Yes.
Okay, which weapon do you think that's going to be? Don't have a clue. Just gonna kind of wait until you get more clues, or nothing.
I don't know.
Okay, and what was the next one? You said something about
some often streamed live. That could be referencing Gavin. But what's the other? Is the other guy of the slow-mo guys? Is that guy in here?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
1 died to scale, and then there were 5. So that's referencing probably the bathroom scale.
The bathroom scale weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although that might be too obvious, who knows. Some often streamed live. That could be referencing any of them, really, because most of the people.
Okay, let's move on.
1 trapped in the floor, ran out of air, and then there were 4. That's the airtight underground chamber.
Okay.
As for who would get stuck in that, I don't know.
Okay.
One got what they wanted, and then there were 3. So that I think could be either referencing Bernie, or it could be referencing Lindsay, because Bernie was saying sometimes I just want to kill them all, and then Lindsay wanted the life insurance, but she already got that before. And then who was the person who asked Bernie if the thing was a raise?
That was Barbara.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're getting a little bit muddled as you get down here, but you seem pretty certain about the very next week's death.
Yeah, Gavin's gonna die.
Okay, and then you think the weapon's going to be slow motion explosion?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so given what you've roughly got thus far, I will let you know that there were people, at least one person, I'm not 100% sure on this, that got everything right from just this.
Now, did that sort of depend on them knowing a lot of stuff about the Rooster Teeth crew already?
A decent amount,
Okay.
yes. So the thing, though, that was actually, something that they could infer from here was not just the references, but by process of elimination, they were able to figure out the murderer and the survivor very easily.
Right. So if the characters, let's see, you've got Miles, Gavin, Gus, Ryan, Lindsay, Michael, Barbara, Bernie, Chris, and Adam. Michael's already dead.
Okay. So it's not Michael.
Right. So it's not Michael. I don't think it's Gavin. Gavin's going to die. And then...
Who are you suspicious of?
Barbara's probably going to die. I'm suspicious of Lindsay and Gus.
You're suspicious of Lindsay and Gus.
Right.
Now, as you said earlier, those were your obvious suspects.
Right.
And you said you were going to go by the rule of Dwight.
Right. Now, I don't know with this how like mysterious they're trying to be. I get the feeling with the earlier ones, they're making it easier. Like Gavin, that's super obvious. And then as it goes on, it gets harder, but as you watch the episodes, it'll get easier.
Sure.
There's the whole thing of Ryan potentially just because, the Mad King and all that. But at the same time, he wouldn't say, we could just kill you if he was the one who then killed
So
him.
who do you think is innocent that you don't know if they're going to die? You don't know, when they're going to die or anything like that. Who do you think is, who just couldn't be the killer?
I really don't think Barbara is the killer. It's possible that she is, because with the last one of one died of a pun, the killer was killed. That could mean that basically the person that killed the killer was someone who used puns, which would be Barbara. So I guess it's not, I don't totally think that it's not her, but there also seem to be some hints in the other clues that she could be one of the people that dies at that point.
Gotcha. Who else do you think is potentially innocent?
I think Gavin is definitely innocent.
Right, because you think Gavin's going to die. But you didn't mention anything about Adam. He's the guy with the beard. You didn't mention anything about Chris. He's the Hobbit. You didn't mention anything about Bernie.
Adam could be guilty, but I don't think so, because it's much more likely that it was planted. The beard hairs were planted in the glass.
Okay.
And then Chris is the guy that was dressed up as the Hobbit. There was the whole "or" joke, but I don't think it's him.
Okay.
Let's see. Then
Bernie
does kind of fall on the medium suspect.
Okay.
So let's see. So the people that would qualify as medium suspect would not be Gus or Lindsay. Well, maybe Lindsay.
Okay.
The life insurance policy thing, though, seemed like too obvious of a clue.
Sure.
I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of little things that add up, not one big thing that makes the medium suspect, but a lot of little things. And in that case, Gus would potentially fit, but that he's also the first one people will think of, because they said that he gave the drink to Michael.
Okay.
So that would be a bit too easy. That would be hilarious if it was Ryan. No, but he also said that there was only one of them that was a cold-blooded killer. That was something that Michael said. I didn't get how important were the things that they actually showed of the little pictures of the people that died.
They are relatively important, but they're not super important.
Gotcha, because I didn't get a good chance to look closely at those, and some of them I think were references.
The one that you did catch, though, was Ryan's cow
with the cow.
In the hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I don't think he ever actually killed it. He just trapped it there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which they mentioned in the actual episode. They're like, you do like to keep, farm animals in holes.
Right. And that's something that maybe that has something to do with the airtight underground chamber. So actually, yeah, that's a good point. I think that that's when Ryan's going to die. He's going to die in the airtight underground chamber as a reference to him keeping the cow in there. So I think Ryan is innocent.
Okay.
And then, so
you have a couple medium suspects right now, and they seem to be Bernie and
which one is Miles again?
Miles is
the one that pulled the thing out.
Well, yeah, but he's the creator of Ruby with Carrie.
Well, right, but I don't remember what he looks like.
He's the guy that pulled the fork out of Adam's beard.
I think that's definitely a medium suspect because that is something that's small enough that could be missed, but how would they get the beard hairs for that? So I would say right now Miles, as far as medium suspect, he's probably the highest, and then
the highest medium suspect.
The highest.
This is genius at work here, people.
I could be totally wrong though.
I love it because half these people on the list, or at least most of them, are gonna know who the killer is, and they're gonna be
right.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's Gus because that's too obvious.
Okay.
It could be Lindsay, but I don't think so because that's also a bit too obvious. Gavin, no, because he's going to die like super quick. Ryan, no, because I can totally see the way that he will die, and it'll be being trapped underground. In the airtight underground chamber. So no. Lindsay, yeah, no. Michael, he's already dead. Barbara, it's possible, but the real question is there's the killer and then the person who's going to end up being the last person, because the killer will be killed. So I don't think Barbara is the killer, but she could potentially be the last person standing. And then Bernie, he could be the killer. He could be the killer because, okay, here's another thing. In Red vs. Blue, he was Church. Church was the one that got all the plot. Now, there was something that I always wondered of how much of that had to do with the fact that Bernie was like the owner of Rooster Teeth, right? So this could be something like that too. And then Chris, yeah, I don't think he's the killer, but there's nothing to say whether he is or isn't one way or another that I can see. And then Adam is the guy with the beard, and I do not think he's the killer.
Okay, so right now it's looking like you're mildly suspecting Miles and Bernie primarily.
Right. Yeah.
And then you think Gus and Lindsay are a little bit too obvious, but you still are suspicious about them.
Yeah, because they had so many different hints where it's like, hey, this is, because I mean there were multiple, and
okay,
and Lindsay's was just one of the really obvious of anytime life insurance is mentioned, and oh, by the way, her husband was the one that died. It's like, the first person to die. It's like.
Okay, so you have these 4 points of suspicion. So right now, we're going to end on this note. I'm not going to let him go back and psychoanalyze, the episode or anything. But he's going to have this these clues and the weapons of choice and all of that available to him to check back on. But we will be doing these episodes every Wednesday consistently, and then once this is finished, we'll either be deciding to move on to a different show, but it'll all be Rooster Teeth related. So right now, let us know in the comments maybe what were some of your original guesses back when you first watched this, or maybe like take note of some kind of references that Jacob's not going to catch, and that way you can be the Rooster Teeth translator for him for things like Baby Gus. I know what Baby Gus is, but he won't know what that is. Any kind of stuff like that. And also just to cheer him on as he, goes through his kind of logical thought puzzle, figuring out who the killer is. Also, you didn't talk about Survivor. There's someone that's surviving.
I did talk about that a little bit.
You think it might be Barbara that survives.
Might be Barbara, but that's tough.
Okay. All right, so we'll save that. We'll save that for the next episode. So right now, he's a little bit tentative. He's not very sure about anything, but he's going with the logic of it's someone that he medium suspects.
Right, and I'm quite certain Gavin is going to die in the next episode.
Yeah, he's quite certain Gavin is going to die in the next episode. And just for clarity, what is the way you think he's going to die? Okay, so you have it down to 3.
Yes, three weapons.
Okay, which 3 weapons?
So there's the 100% accurate Minecraft creeper suit.
Okay.
I don't know if Gavin ever died in Minecraft because of a creeper. I think that might have been something that happened, but also he's part of the slow-mo guys, which leads into the other one, which is the slow-motion explosion.
Okay.
I think that could be it. And then the other one would be the power of math, because there were clones, 2 of them.
Huh.
And it said one tripped over himself, and then there were 8 or something like that. So basically referencing the number of them.
Okay. Cool. So there you have it. Jacob's guess. We're going to move on to the next episode of 10 Little Roosters next week on Wednesday. And so until next time, we are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.